So something that I have noticed over the years as I post about the SP404 Mark II is this kind of a sentiment of, is the SP404 Mark II only for hip hop or kind of the boom bap beats? Well, the simple answer is of course not. But the more kind of complex answer, I guess, is kinda. So if we talk about mostly about the BPM, so if we see that kind of the boom bap hip hop things are like from 70 to kind of 90, 95, I would say that there are a lot of houses that kind of sound house that are around that BPM. For instance, it is at 95 BPM, but it does sound like a house. Have the kick, so you have the kick, the kind of 4 to the floor, very mellow in the back. So it is a house, I guess a little slower house, but it is a house, although it's at the BPM. But also, on the same project, have something that doesn't sound anything house, but it is still at that same BPM. So, does that sound? That doesn't really sound like hip hop, I think, but it still sounds a little different, you know, in kind of the between. Another one, I think. So still not really in like the house or hip hop, I would say, but kind of somewhere in the middle. Something that is a little bit more, I guess, hip hop-ish. But I would say ultimately, I don't think that it's about the BPM, because BPM is ultimately just how fast the track is and then kind of how long the bars are. And then from there, we kind of see where different elements are sitting at. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it's about the BPM or how fast kind of the track is. So then would we say that it's mostly about the patterns? Because, you know, the house are like 4 to the floor, and hip hops are a little bit more, I guess, in most cases, a little bit less repetitive with the patterns. So I have this another beat, which I would say doesn't really fit in either again. So like not really kind of a hip hop, but then it doesn't really sound like what a house track would sound like. Still, it's kind of nowhere in these kind of spectrum. The kick is, it's not a 4 to the floor, but then it also, it's not really like doom doom everything. Or something else. Still a little different. But yeah, it doesn't really fall onto anything. But then again, an example of kind of like I guess something that will sound a little bit more boom bap-ish hip hop would be something like this. So it's on the same project, it's just one bank over, and it's kind of around the same BPM. So yeah. So ultimately, I think a device like the SP404 is primarily a sampler, groovebox. So it doesn't necessarily have to fit in like those categories of like only BoomBap or house. It's just a sampler, so you can sample anything and kind of make anything. So for instance, I have this, which I would say is not really in anything. Kind of a nice vibe though. Or something like this that will sound, I think, a little bit more rough hip-hop thing. So this will sound a little bit more in that category, but then if I go somewhere else, I'll have kind of, I guess, a more traditional house. So something like this. That is very much a house beat. But the most important thing about this is the community. And yes, the community is mostly kind of hip-hop, LoFi, BoomBap side of the spectrum. But I think it is very crucial for something like this, because I hope that the community's feedback and the community's comments are kind of what manufacturer would use to prioritize bugs and improvements, and being part of that community is also very important. So I think the SP404 Mark II is a tool that you can do anything with. I certainly have not restricted myself into kind of a specific, I would say, genre, but ultimately it's a tool that you can eventually make anything with. Of course, the community is crucial and should not be overlooked. At the end of the day, the SP in general has a very long kind of a history around the community with very notable names that are great artists, so it shouldn't necessarily be overlooked. But as far as just the technical side, I would say, or mostly the technical side, you can make anything with it. So yes, it's just a tool. It doesn't necessarily fit into kind of like a tool for this sort of thing, but also there is kind of the community and the legacy that comes with it. But yes, that's all that I wanted to talk about. Thank you for watching, and then I'll catch you on the next one.